Hey everyone, I'm excited to let you know that this month's video is sponsored by Keen. Now, I've worked with Keen in the past and I wanted to share with you a special deal that I will get to in a minute. But first, let me tell you about my experience connecting with a Keen advisor. I've shared before that when I need to get a reading for myself, I've gotten readings through Keen. Just yesterday, I got a reading from a lovely advisor named Lynn. She was very similar to myself in that she is very practical, direct, and simple in her delivery when communicating things throughout the reading. She gave me insight into my relationships, and she even helped me come up with some new ideas for my business. Now, what I love most about Keen is that the advisors are available 24/7, and you can even schedule a time if you want. And this is great if you have an advisor that you prefer to work with or an advisor that you've already established a relationship with. So here's the deal that Keen has extended to my viewers. You can get your first 10 minutes for just $1.99. And the price after that depends on which advisor you choose. But the best part is that this service is backed by a satisfaction guarantee. Keen is the most affordable way to meet new advisors, especially when you want guidance and support on things like dream interpretation, chakra clearing, getting insight into certain situations, career plans, relationships, whatever. Now, once you become a Keen user, each week you'll get emails that offer discounts and specials so you can get multiple readings in the most efficient way available. So make sure you check your inbox this week if you're already a Keen customer. Now, if you haven't signed up with Keen yet, it's a really simple process that can be done via mobile or desktop. All you're going to do is head on over to trykeen.com/intuitive gems, and you'll click on the sign up button and follow the steps to get started. The whole process should take less than 2 minutes, and you'll be on your way to connecting with a screened and talented advisor instantly. So I want to say thank you again to Keen for sponsoring this video, and now on to your reading. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and I will be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, and abundance reading for the month of August 2020. If this is your first time catching one of my videos, I do want to say welcome, and I invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month, and I would love to share your money message with you. For the readings this month, I will be using my Spellcaster's Tarot deck. I will clarify with my Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot deck, as I always do. And then, Cancer, I will close out your reading with an Angels of Abundance Oracle card. So let's go ahead and get right into your reading and see what shows up for you, Cancer. As it relates, to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of August 2020. What do we need to know for the sign of Cancer? Okay. All right, Cancer. It looks like as we move into the beginning of August, you're going to be feeling like things are really, I want to say, maybe a little scattered, or maybe a lot scattered. It looks like, you might even be feeling a little overwhelmed and maybe just feeling like things are on hold and you have no say in the matter. It's like, everything you're doing is feeling a little frustrating because you're trying to make things happen, you're trying to make big changes, and you keep getting roadblocks put up, right? Now, this is not all, things that are within your control, Cancer, but a lot of it has to do with, I want to say, your interpretation and your perception of things. And there's some things that are holding you back that are not necessarily within your realm to control. Now we have the Emperor in reverse, Death in reverse, Ten of Pentacles reverse, Page of Pentacles upright, that's good. And we also have the Five of Swords in reverse, that's really good. And the King of Swords upright. Overall, it just looks like, there's some things being put on hold that you can't control. There's also some frustration. There's a lot of impatience, a lot of trying to do things and make things happen, and you getting frustrated that things are not happening. I think this is just part of the normal cycle and the normal flow of life. We have our ups, we have our downs, we have things we can control, things we can't. And, it's one of those things that you're just going to have to accept. And one of those things that you're going to have to tolerate, especially as it relates to your work, and in some cases directly affecting your money. Now, the thing is just because things are on hold and things are not moving as quickly or as rapidly as you are trying to make them, it doesn't mean that things are not happening at all. The Emperor talks about, a lack of control. Sometimes it means that things are just, there's too many things going on and it's impossible to control. It's impossible to see, everything all the time and take action on everything in every way. Now, the Death card in the reverse talks about a huge life, transforming change. But sometimes, for whatever reason, either that change is not happening or the change happens in a much different way. It doesn't mean that, good things are not coming, but it does mean that we have to prepare for things that sometimes we just have no control over, and how do you do that? Well, you make sure that you have savings, you make sure you have a cushion, you make sure that you have, insurance, you make sure that you pay attention to the details as it relates to your finances and your money. You do what you can to be proactive. And, that way, if a worst case scenario does happen, it's not going to totally, knock you off your feet. You're going to be able to recoup and recover, in some way, shape, or form. So it's all about being prepared, and it's all about having your ducks in a row. Now, the Ten of Pentacles, this is an interesting card in this particular aspect because it means that you're going to be doing a lot of things on your own. Not that you don't have help if you need it, but you're choosing to deliberately take some steps independently, regardless of the circumstances. It's like you'd rather just kind of do things on your own, in your own way and in your own timing, especially financial and work-related things. This is something that's probably going to give you a lot more clarity and peace of mind because certain things are getting done because you took care of them yourself. Also, too, sometimes you just don't need the distraction of other people. You don't need other people's opinions, input, feedback, energies kind of clouding up the situation. You'd much rather take care of that on your own, which is good. Now, we have the Page of Pentacles here. This is some good news coming about money. This is really positive. The other good thing about the Page of Pentacles in the upright position is that it talks about a new opportunity to have money come in. Now, if you are looking for maybe another job or if you're looking to increase your money flow in some way, just know that you're going to start seeing some signs of that happening in the first week of August. Next, we have the Five of Swords in the reverse. This is good. This means the roads of communication are open. It means that you're not having a stressful and strain and a lot of back and forth when it comes to conversations and communication. The Five of Swords also talks about, things just really kind of opening up. You kind of have a little bit of frustrations here at the beginning of the month, but as we move throughout that first week, you're going to see that, conversations begin to go a lot more easily. You start to really connect with people and you don't, have misinterpretations and misunderstandings. It just means that you have some really good conversations, really good communications. People are working in harmony. People are receiving what you say, and you are, it's this beautiful flow, and it's this really good, solid, grounded communication. And I think that's something that you really need at this time, Cancer. Finally, we have the King of Swords here. The King of Swords is a really powerful card when it comes to getting rid of things. The King of Swords is a really powerful energy of things being removed, of blockages being destroyed. Also, too, this talks about the mental processes. It's like your head gets really clear. You start to really focus on what matters and how to make these changes that you're wanting to make. The other thing about the King of Swords is that he really is a no-nonsense type of person. Sometimes this comes across as a very mean-spirited energy, but sometimes you have to be that way in order to get what you want. It's unfortunate that people will kind of receive that in a negative way, but your responsibility is to take care of your life and do what you need to do to protect you and your own. So don't feel bad if you have to be downright mean in some cases. It's just a matter of, whatever method works for you in order to achieve your goals. But the King of Swords really much is a focused, I want to say, how somebody is, it's like they're just very no nonsense. It's like, if you have to be eliminated, you're eliminated. If you have to, do this, you do this. There's just no explanation needed, and there's no accommodations being made if the person or the situation is not working. So I think that's a really good energy to have, especially at this time, Cancer, because you just don't have time to waste, and you don't have, you just don't have the energy to deal with nonsense. And that's what I'm getting from that card there. So what else do we need to know for the sign of Cancer as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of August 2020? What do we need to know? Oh, for the sign of Cancer. Okay. All right, Cancer, as we move into this second week of August, you're going to see that things still are kind of moving at a much slower pace, all right? Now, the good thing is that you are going to be making some breakthroughs, personal breakthroughs, which are definitely going to enhance your money, definitely going to enhance your work and kind of elevate you in your career, in your business, and so forth. And I say that because we have the Hangman here in the reverse, which is good. That means you're not stuck. But let's start here with the Six of Cups in the reverse. This is all about something or someone showing up from your past unexpectedly. This could be a person, this could be a circumstance, it could be a situation that you thought was done, but it shows back up probably in that second week of August, something that you need to take care of. Now, this is something too where you're going to have to take action this time. It looks like maybe in the past it was something you ignored and you thought it, quote, went away. It didn't quite go away. You're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to finally finish it off, whatever it is. You're going to have to deal with it because it's showing back up again. Once you take care of it, it will finally go away for good. Next, we have a Page of Swords. This is news or information about something being eliminated. Now, the good thing about the Page of Swords is that a lot of times when something stops or when something is removed, it's usually something that feels a little uncertain at the time, but then as things move forward, you'll see that, this is actually a good thing. It's like, oh, I thought, losing my job was bad at the time, but now I have the freedom and the time and less of a burden, so now I can pursue other things. So something is going to be eliminated. You're going to get a message or news about that probably in the second week of August. Like I said, the Hangman in the reverse, this is really good. It means you're no longer stuck, you're no longer stagnant, you are progressing, you are moving forward. You've made a decision and it's really starting to pay off and take shape. It's really starting to affect your life in a very outwardly ripply kind of way. You make some good decisions and it really does start to pay off. You start to see things growing, especially as it relates to your money. Maybe you're saving more, maybe you are budgeting much better. You're not just kind of sitting still and allowing things to just kind of happen. However, you're being deliberate in your choices, which is definitely proving to be something profitable and something financially beneficial for you at this time. Strength card in the reverse, be careful about getting burnt out. A lot of times I see this card in the reverse when we're taking on too much. Sometimes we're not doing enough self-care. Sometimes we're just grinding, hustling, and we're not taking enough time to rest and recharge and rejuvenate ourselves. Be careful with this here, because you're not going to be good to anyone, especially yourself, if you're burnt out. And I feel this too, that a lot of times when you're taking on, when people are taking on like a lot of overtime at work because they need the money, or they are just, working 2-3 jobs and they just are spreading themselves way too thin. Now, making extra money is good. I'm never going to say that's not a good thing, but you really have to be careful. You can only do so much. You're only one person. Take care of yourself. That's the message here. This is giving us a heads up. We have the Knight of Swords in the reverse. This means that things are happening slowly. I think that's kind of the theme for you for this month, Cancer, is that things are just not happening quickly. Things are just kind of trudging along. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's nice when things happen quickly, but sometimes slow and steady wins the race. And you're going to have to remember that this month. You're going to have to remember that you can't control the speed at which things unfold. You're going to have to embrace the timeliness of certain things. You're going to have to really kind of just sit and allow things to happen in their own way, in their own timing. And don't feel pressured to rush. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and clarify and see what else is showing up for you as we move through the month of August 2020, especially as it relates to your money, to your work, to your finances, prosperity, abundance. What do we need to know for the sign of Cancer? Interesting. Okay. What do we need to know for the sign of Cancer as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance? For the month of August 2020. All right. Nine of Wands, Page of Swords, Magician reverse. Then we have Lovers, Three of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles all in the upright. All right, be careful with your relationships. It looks like your personal relationships could kind of distract you as we move towards the second half of August. And I say that because I see this card here, the Three of Swords. This is a heavy emotional card. Usually emotions are tied to our personal relationships, at least the strongest emotions are. Be very, very careful that you're not getting distracted or wrapped up in a relationship or in an emotional entanglement. Just be careful. Keep focused on your work. Keep focused on your career and your business. I understand, we are human beings and emotions are a part of who we are, but I'm seeing this real clearly, that you have to make sure you don't get distracted or overwhelmed because of something going on in your personal life, that it takes you away from your financial growth and that it takes you away from your financial obligations, okay? But let's start here with the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is all about feeling frustrated, discouraged, and ready to give up. I'm here to tell you, Cancer, please, please don't give up. Keep going. Keep taking steps forward. The best to your ability. I know it's challenging, and I know it's difficult at times, but I promise you it's not going to be that way forever. And I can say that wholeheartedly because of the cards that I'm seeing here. We have the Page of Swords again. Now remember, we saw this guy here, and look, he landed right on the Page of Swords again. Page of Swords is all about good news coming through because something is being eliminated, you know. Sometimes that confuses people when I say that, because they say, well, how can it be good news if something's being taken away? Well, what if, let's say your job that you hate, let's say you get laid off, now you collect unemployment and you're making more than you were when you were working. That's really good news because something's being eliminated. It could also be to here, let's say you're trying to lose weight. Well, you kind of start working out, maybe you change your diet, and boom, you lose 10 pounds. That's good news of something being taken away, something going away, something being removed. So just get ready for that. You know, I do think that this is definitely going to be a game changer for you, Cancer. It's going to be something where you're excited to hear about it. You know, it may sound bad to other people, but for you, it's definitely going to be a blessing in disguise. We have the Magician here, Magician in the reverse. Talks about you having to kind of get ready. You got to really acknowledge the blessings that you have. The Magician is all about alchemy, meaning you have what you need in order to create the life and the money and the abundance that you want. You know, maybe you're just not acknowledging it, you know. Really learn to prosper where you are planted. Really practice, seeing your situation as an opportunity. I know that's not easy. Trust me, I get it. But you really do have a hidden opportunity here somewhere in your life. You're just going to have to find it, and you're going to have to uncover it, and you're going to have to work with it. Now, we also have the Lover's card here. The Lover's card is about a divine union, a divine connection. It's also really significant of a passion project. Now, because we talked here about that emotional distraction that could be showing up during this time, this could also be a personal relationship. You know, it could be a personal connection that really starts to flourish, but then because the emotions are so heavy, sometimes it really puts us in a state where we do get distracted, and we do start to kind of let things slide because we're spending so much time in this personal relationship. We get so love struck, by a new person we're dating, and sometimes we neglect our obligations or our financial responsibilities. So this could go either way. You're going to have to check in with yourself and see what's going on with you at this time. But I do see that, it's not all bad, but it does have the potential to kind of throw you off track a little bit, and that's just something you have to pay attention to. Finally, we have the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles talks about you being busy with work. There's definitely going to be an increase in your workflow, which means indirectly an increase in your money flow. The other thing is that you're going to be so busy that you may find that because you're so busy with work, you neglect your personal relationships. It can go either way. So just really see, pay attention to what's going on at this time, and really see, if, is work getting in the way of other things, or are other things getting in the way of work? Okay, so what else do we need to know for the sign of Cancer as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of August 2020? What do we need to know for the sign of Cancer? Yeah, here we go. This is that other heavy emotional card, the Queen of Cups. Now, she's all about wearing her heart on her sleeve, right? She doesn't hide her feelings too well. And she's also someone who is really ruled by her emotions. She's kind of emotionally charged in that sense that, she can't ignore her feelings, and sometimes her feelings will drive her actions and her behaviors and her opinions about things. So I think that's really crucial to remember, as like I said, pay attention to how you're feeling, pay attention to your relationships at this time, because it looks like there's going to be some overlap here. Emotions affecting the money, and money affecting the emotions, or work affecting your money, or money affecting your emotions. I hope that made sense. But here we are again, Seven of Wands. This is you really having some tough conversations. Now, I know earlier we talked about the path of communication kind of opening up, which is really, really good. The Seven of Wands, though, is kind of you kind of having to defend yourself, kind of having to explain, kind of having to, deal with negative opinions and influence and people giving you their feedback when you didn't really ask for it. This is something where you're just going to have to stand your ground, You may have to explain and re-explain and then, go back and explain again. But this is you standing firm in your choices. You definitely have the power to do that, and you will probably have to demonstrate that towards the end of the month. Next, we have the Ten of Pentacles. I know we had this card earlier. Here it is. Ten of Pentacles. This is all about group projects, working in a group. Sometimes, too, this means that you're going to have the support of someone in a higher position than you. This is a good card because it means that even though you may have been working solo at some point, there are going to be people coming to help you. There is going to be some type of group project or some type of a collaboration. There's also going to be an opportunity for you to be a leader, to demonstrate your leadership skills. This is very exciting, especially if you're looking to kind of change your role in the workplace, if you're looking to advance into a supervisory or a management role. This is a really good card to see because it means that people are starting to recognize you as a leader, and they're starting to respect your opinion as a leader or as someone who can definitely make the hard decisions. The Hierophant here. Now, the Hierophant in the reverse position. This is very interesting because the Hierophant talks about sometimes going against authority. Now, we have the leadership card here, but here we have a little bit of going against the grain, kind of doing something new and different, being a pioneer in some way, especially as it relates to work and business. Sometimes we just have to be careful. There's nothing to say you can't do things your own way, but sometimes we have to work within the confines of what we're allowed to do. And I know that's not comfortable to hear, especially for Cancers, because they pretty much are the ones who will go against the grain, who will kind of strike out on their own without any hesitation because they feel that much empowered to do so. So I'm not saying don't do your own thing, but just make sure that you are doing you're doing something that is, and I don't want to say the word allowed, because obviously you want to do your own thing regardless of what's allowed or what's not allowed. But at the same time, don't burn bridges because you're so anxious to kind of strike out in a new direction. Be very, very careful. If you are going against authority here, do it in a way that's not so obvious. Do it in a way that's not going to cause too much of a outrage, I guess, with the people that you are working with, okay? Especially when it comes to business and especially when it comes to the work environment. Like I said here, the Queen of Cups, she's a very, very emotional energy here. She doesn't hide how she feels, and she is someone who really plays into her emotions very strongly, very prominently. I think we already talked about what's going on here with those emotions as it relates to work, as it relates to money, as it relates to relationships. I don't want to keep repeating that, but I think you guys know. Just pay attention to that. Pay attention to your emotions and your relationships at this time, especially as we close out the month of August. Finally, we have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles talks about, financial literacy and making really solid financial decisions. When she shows up in the reverse, that means that if you're not confident about making a decision as it relates to your money and to your work and to your business, don't hesitate to pause. Don't hesitate to take a step back and allow yourself some more time to research. Allow yourself more time to ask some more questions, okay? That's definitely something that you need to pay attention to and something that you need to be careful with, okay? Don't move ahead if there's any misunderstandings, any doubts, any unanswered questions, be comfortable saying no or be comfortable asking for more information. That's what I'm getting very clearly with this card. So overall, Cancer, you've got a lot going on this month in the sense that it's really a time for you to step back and kind of, do some inner reflection. There's no rush. I see there's a little bit of frustration coming up throughout the month, but it's definitely something that you need to give yourself grace and give yourself some time to really absorb everything that's going on. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and close out your reading with a Angels of Abundance Oracle card. This one is Dreams of Abundance. As you sleep, God, your angels, and your higher self are giving you divinely guided ideas, answers, and solutions. Be sure to record your dreams in a journal because they contain valuable insights that will help you manifest your desires into reality. This is beautiful. I think that is, something that you may want to consider for the month of August, Cancer. Record your dreams. Since this is a month of reflection, since this is a month of processing decisions and what's going on, pay attention to your dreams because answers could definitely show up there for you. All right, Cancer, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations, feel free to drop them down in the comment section below. And if you're not subscribed, please make sure you do so because I do these readings each and every month, and I would love to share your money message with you. And if you'd like to connect with me for a private reading, I will have that information linked in the description as well. All right, Cancer, thank you so much for spending this time with me. We'll do it all again next month.